So this morning there's like two questions that I came across that I really wanted to go live and discuss with Christians, atheists, and people from really any religious background. But I can't at the moment because I have a lot of stuff that I need to do. I only get 2 days a week off of work, and it's Tuesday and Wednesday, and I use those days to just really catch up on what I need to do and maybe make videos for TikTok. But I came up with these questions as I was just watching clips from the Atheist Experience and Matt Dillahunty's discussions with certain Christian apologists. And also I was watching an Atheist Experience clip with J Mike in it, and J Mike's awesome. So also warning, this video might be all over the place because I'm kind of just going off the top of my head. I didn't really write a script, but yeah. Here are the two questions that I probably want to talk about on my live. They're not new questions. They've been talked about on TikTok, but I probably want to go deeper and take notes and explore them a little bit. Questions are: is the Bible divine revelation from? And did Jesus really perform miracles? When it comes to whether is the Bible divine revelation from God, I just don't think that God delivering his message through human beings that he knows are flawed or predisposed to being corrupt, lying, cheating, doing all these different types of sins. I don't think it's smart for God to rely on such a flawed creation to deliver his message. I think that the Bible might just be Christians using God as a way to control people or to push whatever message that they wanted to push in the name of God. It's basically sort of a use of divine command theory. God is speaking through us and we're writing down his words and delivering you this message. I just don't really see how we can trust man to give us the message that is ultimately supposed to lead us to getting to heaven or determine what rules that we listen to or follow. How do we know that these men put the right things in the Bible? How do we know that they didn't put the wrong things in the Bible? How do we know that they didn't keep what was supposed to be in the Bible out of the Bible? How do we know how do we know that they did this accurately and gave us a message of God with no corruption, with no influence, with no error? In God choosing to have men deliver his message rather than deliver it himself to us in this modern day and age, it's resulted in different denominations of Christianity that causes a bunch of confusion. It's resulted in different versions of the Bible that has caused a lot of confusion. And God is this highly intelligent being, but I think his method for delivering his message to us in the future generations, very flawed. And it just seems like a man-made religion or concept. Not only that, when reading the English translation, there's a lot that's lost in translation, and you have to go and read the Hebrew and see how words can mean 2 or 3 different things, or there are just some ideas that aren't communicated clearly in the English translation, and they would be much more clear if you went and you looked at the Hebrew, looked at the ancient Latin or Greek, and understood what the original message is. In order to get to God via this method that he used to deliver his message to us, which is human beings, it seems very flawed, and it seems it takes so much intellectual effort to actually get to his message and make it to heaven, and you have to put so much work, and it's so complex. In the Bible, things are not clearly listed as allegories or metaphors or not to be taken literally, and this just leaves a open hole or a perfect opportunity for confusion and misinterpretations and misunderstandings of this word. ultimately God using human beings to deliver his message and doing it in such a faulty way that has literally caused so much confusion, honestly, it's just a real dick thing to do. It's like not nice. He is literally just placing hurdles in our way to get to his message. He makes his message unclear, and the only people who can really understand it are people who are just really scholarly and take the time to put in so much effort, when God could have just made the message, this is what it is, clear to you, given to you clearly. Other things I'd probably discuss alongside this is just that, you know, in our modern day age, all we have when it comes to like God, does he exist, revelation from God, is we have this Bible written by men who can't be trusted and are, you know, susceptible to corruption. We have anecdotes, but like we can't really trust those. In the sense that, like, in the Old Testament and in the New Testament, God was revealing himself to human beings in ways that were clear that the Christian God existed. Talking to people via the burning bush, you know, coming down as Jesus, doing miracles in front of people, and, like, you know, healing people and doing all these things that clearly show that God exists. Nowadays, we have these anecdotes that are very vague and can easily be dismissed. Example that I always use, if someone gets in a car crash and, you know, they have like a head injury, they might see angels or they might see God, get a message from God. How do we know that this is just not due to the faulty nature of the body, especially in a situation where you have had some head trauma, or you might be, your body might be experiencing a high level of adrenaline? Anecdotes can often be explained away by like science or the faultiness of our bodies, you know, like dreams and comas and stuff like that. And these don't prove God's existence. And they are especially kind of like lax in comparison to how God spoke to his people in the Bible. It's like, imagine having like a father, right? And with one of his kids, he is talking to that kid every day and, like, you know, playing baseball with that kid and, you know, clearly like present in that kid's life. And for the other kid, he has this note that he left them that isn't even written by him. It's written by other people in place of him. And every now and then you might get like certain coincidences or anecdotes in life that aren't necessarily him talking to you. You just have to assign meaning to these anecdotes and coincidences to say that it's him. Two different kids getting two different messages that are significantly different and one is like clearly defining that your father exists and he's there for you, and the other one is not. The other one is just like vague and like not set in stone and real. Also, sorry for this long video. It's probably gonna be like 10 minutes, but I'll try to finish it up as quickly as possible. The second question that I want to talk about, that I would really like to go live and talk about, this question right here: did Jesus really perform miracles? One good point that J-Mike makes in a clip that I saw of him on the Atheist Experience is that historians, when they're trying to discover what happened in history, they do use like a method of determining what is like the most probable explanation for certain things, or what is most probable to happen in history, or essentially they're trying to establish what is the most probable thing that happened in history. And it's very probable that a guy named Jesus, you know, walked around during the time that the Bible clearly describes. Yes, like, it's not extraordinary for a man named Jesus to be walking around in Jerusalem, you know, as the Bible says. But the one thing that we can't, like, find firsthand encounters of or, you know, establish is, did Jesus perform miracles, therefore establishing him as God in human form? We don't have first encounters. We don't have, you know, good enough evidence to say that Jesus multiplied fish and bread, brought people back from the dead, and did miracles. The resurrection is the strongest thing we have, and that one is even debated and questioned. But aside from the resurrection, can we verify Jesus's other miracles? And I don't think we can. And I don't think it's highly probable that Jesus multiplied fish and bread and fed people, walked on water, cured leprosy, and all sorts of stuff like that. these are just things I want to talk about and have conversations with people about on live. Thanks.